Socrates' view on capital punishment. Socrates, Plato's teacher, was an Athenian philosopher who was put on trial in 399 BCE for two charges: impiety, not recognizing the gods of the state, and corrupting the youth. After a jury of 500 citizens found him guilty by a narrow margin, he was sentenced to death by drinking hemlock. Instead of proposing a reasonable alternative penalty to the jury, he famously suggested that he should be rewarded with free meals for his service to Athens as a gadfly who constantly challenged and improved the city. This defiant stance likely contributed to the jury's decision to hand down the death penalty. Socrates argued that by living his entire life in Athens and enjoying its benefits, he had implicitly agreed to abide by its laws. To escape would be a violation of this unwritten social contract, which he considered a greater evil than death itself. He saw the state and its laws as a parent figure, and disobeying them would be an act of betrayal. Socrates believed that a good person cannot be truly harmed in life or death because his soul is eternal and his moral integrity is inviolable. He argued that living unjustly by breaking the law would be a far greater harm to his soul than being unjustly executed. He maintained that to abandon his principles at the end of his life would make a mockery of his entire philosophical career. He believed that the unexamined life was not worth living, and that one must always choose the morally right path, even if it leads to death. Socrates' views on capital punishment, therefore, are not about whether the death penalty is inherently just or unjust in a broad sense. Rather, they are a powerful statement on the individual's relationship with the state, the moral obligation to uphold the law, and the primacy of the soul's integrity over the physical body's survival. He chose to die to demonstrate the supremacy of principle and justice over personal self-preservation. The Greek philosopher Plato, who lived from 428 BCE to 348 BCE, and his views on capital punishment. Plato's view generally supported the use of capital punishment. He saw punishment as a form of purging or cure for a diseased soul. He believed that the state has responsibility to reform its citizens. Still, if a person's soul is incurable and poses a threat to the state, their execution is necessary for the good of the community. For Plato, the death penalty was not an act of revenge, but a civic purification, removing a fundamentally corrupting influence to protect the social order. Aristotle's view was a bit different. Aristotle lived from 384 BCE to 322 BCE and was a student of Plato. While Aristotle didn't provide a comprehensive theory of capital punishment, his philosophy on justice and punishment offers insights. He believed punishment should aim for a combination of retribution proportionate to the crime, deterrence, and moral education. He emphasized that punishment should be a cure for the offender and a means to restore balanced corrective justice to society. He did not explicitly rule out the death penalty, but his focus on the rehabilitative and educational aspects of punishment is often cited by those who argue against the finality and lack of corrective potential in capital punishment.